All right, guys, we're going to get started. I'm going to suggest seated. So just get into a comfortable seat. Start to notice your inhale and your exhale. Equally noticing this world in front of you. Hearing the world, right? This exterior here. And also the sounds of the life in the home that you're in. And so let the sounds or the sights or your own breath be the anchor to this moment. And when the mind wanders, which it will, which it does, just come back to the sounds, to the sights, or to your breath. This anchoring into the moment becomes the practice for the mind. To be right here. To be in the moment of seeing and hearing and breathing. And who knows what other sounds will show up today in this practice, because this is the world outside. Which is why this is our message today. One of my very first teachers always taught from Lao Tzu. And so I'm reminded of Kurt in Dallas and all of my friends there. Water is fluid, soft and yielding, but water will wear away rock, which is rigid and cannot yield. As a rule, whatever is fluid, soft, and yielding will overcome whatever is rigid and hard. And so in this way, the practice becomes a practice to be like water. From your seated position at the top of your mat, start to reach your arms up above your head. Just stretch the arms up. And then as you exhale, just bring the arms back down by your side. Smoothly here, do that again. Inhale, the arms reach up to frame the head. Exhale, the arms come down. And please just continue that. Noticing the way the breath flows with the movement of the arms. As you move here, just remember that this practice becomes a practice of welcoming the world. The birds and the sounds of others that might show up, the boats, maybe music. People might walk by. This is the world and we welcome it. The next time the arms are up, framing the head, keep them there. Take a very full belly breath in. And as you exhale, stretch the arms forward and transition to hands and knees. From hands and knees, the shoulders are over the wrists and the knees are under the hips. Cat-cow on an inhale, release the belly and the rib cage. Tilt the heart up. And on the exhale, just pushing the mat away, round the spine, tucking the chin into the chest, and then continue that movement. And you've got the freedom, right? There's not even anyone visually doing this practice in front of you. So as you move the spine to notice maybe the places of fluidity, you might simultaneously notice the places of rigidity. And so maybe the way that you move your spine in this place is different this morning. Continue to move the spine, maybe making little C curves. If you don't know what that means, just move the body here, knowing that the purpose is to warm up and notice the way the spine and the back are feeling in this moment. And then pause in the stillness on hands and knees. Extend the right arm forward and the left leg back. Now the left toes, as the legs extended back, can be lifted, but they certainly also can be tapped down on the ground. And the right arm lifts up so that it's in alignment with your right ear. And then soften the skin of the shoulders. You're doing this with either the leg and the arm or just the arm. Maybe you choose to do it with just the leg. Anyway, take a full belly breath in. And as you exhale, draw the elbow in towards the knee. Do that again. Inhale, extend the arm and the leg. Exhale, draw it into center. Do that 3 more times, lengthening on an inhale, contracting in on an exhale. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. And 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, draw elbow in towards your knee and pause. Re-extend it out and hold for 3 full breaths in and out. When you get to the end of your 3rd exhale, place your knee and your hand down and pause. And then extend the left arm forward to frame the head. That left ear, and then the right leg back, remembering the toes can be down or the leg can be lifted and extended. Extending through left arm and back heel, take a breath in. Exhale, contract it into center, and then just continue this movement. Recognizing in movement both stability and instability, how both can be present. You're just extending and drawing into center. Just a few more like that. And then coming into a pause, eventually with the knee and the elbow into center. If you're moving both arm and leg, pause here. And then re-extend it out and feel here the core engage. Soften the skin of the shoulder. Use the back of the neck and the muscles on the back side of the body to awaken here to help support this. And then place the hand and the knee down and just tuck your toes. So simply toes are tucked. You're still on hands and knees. Here's an option. You can hover the knees and the shins. That's an option. Starting to wake up the abs. Again, recognizing that both shakiness and steadiness can be present. Take a deep breath in where you are, and then breathe into downward facing dog. So from downward facing dog, your feet are hip bone distance at the back of your mat. Your hands shoulder width near the front of your mat. Spread your fingers, feel energy in your hands. Maybe a slight bend to the knees, this idea of being soft and yielding, not rigid. You can stay in the stillness of your downward facing dog, or the downward facing dog can move. Again, this becomes your choice here. Make the hands strong and really notice breath in and breath out. From downward facing dog, let's come into pause. And on an inhale, lift the right leg up, not too high, keep it parallel so that the right hip bone points down to the floor. If the weight shifted over to the left a little bit more, of course, that's a normal shift. Give the right hand a little more weight. Take a very full belly breath in. And as you exhale, place the right foot in between the hands. You're in a low lunge, 2 feet down and 2 hands down. So just pause here. And sometimes when I do this, I have to step my back foot in a little bit. Because on an inhale, I'd like you to start to bring the right leg to straight. 2 feet stay down on the mat still. So just kind of straightening and then rebending the right knee, but the left foot stays down on the mat. Both hands are down on the mat still. So with an inhale, when you are at that pace, you move towards straightening the right leg. And as you exhale, you rebend the right knee. So just do that a few times. Noticing the way the breath can work its way through the body, like water flows through. All right, now let's come into stillness. And if you step that back foot in a little bit, step it back so that you have the right knee over the right ankle, and then breathe the body up into crescent lunge. The back knee, that left knee, can be down for more support. Notice if in crescent lunge you are leaning forward, and feel the idea of mountain pose, Tadasana. So feel the shoulders draw back and stack over the hip bones. In order to get that alignment, you may have to slightly bend your back knee. And then we're just going to stay right here for a few breaths. The arms can be up and extended. We're in crescent lunge with that right foot forward, but the hands can also be at heart center. And just look at this world in front of you. Eyes that notice this is the moment I'm in. So if the hands have moved to heart center, on an inhale, extend the arms up to frame the head. And as you exhale, bring the hands down to frame the front foot. I want you to step the left foot forward, please, to meet the right. On an inhale, halfway lift. You're at the top of your mat. Exhale to fold. Rise to standing, and when you rise to standing, keep the arms lifted up, pressing down through both feet. The arms stretch up. Notice if the rib cage is popping forward, and hug the rib cage in toward the spine. Maybe a little tilt of the pelvis in either direction to bring an ease and fluidity in. So the arms are lifted. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, bend your knees and sit to chair and bring your hands to heart center. Come in and out of that. Inhale, straighten the legs, extend the arms up. Exhale, bend the knees, hands come to heart center. Do that 3 more times. Inhales to straighten the legs and reach the arms up. Exhale to bend the knees and hands connect at heart center. 2 more. Inhale to stretch and lengthen and elongate. Exhale to awaken this back side of the body as knees bend. 1 more. Inhale to straighten the legs and the arms reach up. Exhale, bend your knees and sit to chair and draw your hands to heart center. Now, this is not going to be any surprise to you because the theme is water. You know we're going to boat pose, Navasana. All right, so you're going to go all the way down, sit down on your butt. Your legs can stay down on the ground, or they can lift up in front of you, and your knees might be bent, or your legs might be straight. Your fingertips can be back behind you to support you, or your arms can be lifted straight up in front of you, or framing your head, boat pose. You're making a V, essentially, with your body. And your eyes are looking out at the water, right? And are you smiling? Stay in boat pose for 3 full breaths. And when you get to the end of your 3rd exhale in boat pose, you are going to somehow find your way back to chair pose. That might be by rocking back. I won't sing row, row, row your boat, don't worry. But eventually you'll make your way to chair. Chair is at the top of your mat with knees bent. Arms can be extended or hands can be at heart center, and simply pause. Water is fluid, soft, and yielding, but water will wear rock away rock, which is rigid and cannot yield. As a rule, whatever is fluid, soft, and yielding will overcome whatever is rigid and hard. So notice in your body, in chair, a place that you can bring a bit of ease, and maybe that's mental ease, because this is not ever just about the physical. From chair, straighten the legs, reach the arms up on an inhale. Exhale, empty out and fold. Halfway lift on a breath. And with an exhale, plant the hands and step back to the top of a push-up, plank. I'd like you to pause and plank, and the knees can absolutely come down. Even if the knees come down, keep the thigh bones lifted, broaden across the chest, but don't broaden so much that the chest collapses. Energy across the chest. Really feel that smoothness here. And if the chin is tucking down into the chest, use the muscles on the back side of the neck to lift up and breathe. It's a good place to share a message, right? You're in plank or modified plank, but this idea that sometimes the rigidity, sometimes the challenging piece is mental rigidity, thinking things need to be one way. And in this way, the practice becomes a tangible expression of that which often might feel intangible. You're still in plank, I gotcha. Take a breath in, lift back to downward facing dog as you exhale. From downward facing dog, lift the left leg on an inhale and pause as you exhale. If your weight shifted to the right, be open to the awareness of making a modification, a variation, a slight adjustment. This rigidity is not only showing up when we're making decisions off of the mat, it's here. Will you be open enough to the awareness of what your body's doing? Your left leg is lifted, take a breath in. And as you exhale, place the left foot in between the hands. At this point, you have 2 feet and 2 hands on the mat. I'm going to suggest stepping the right foot slightly forward, just a tinge. And on an inhale, you're straightening the left leg, but 2 feet still stay on the mat. And with an exhale, you're bending the left knee. So go ahead, just do that. Kind of come in and out, straightening the left leg and bending the left knee. giving breath to these poses as we warm the body. And then let's say then next time that left knee is bent, keep it there. Probably stepping the right foot back just a touch. And come all the way up to crescent lunge. The back knee can come down for more support. In crescent lunge, the hands can be at heart center, the arms can be extended to frame the head. But notice if there's a drawing forward and liven up the back side of the body. Maybe a tiny bend to the back knee so that the pelvis can help draw you into the alignment of Tadasana, of shoulders over hip bones. As you're in crescent lunge, I do want it to be known that I put makeup on this morning. Not that you're seeing my face right now, but I think it's important that you know that. At least it feels important to me. Okay, stay right here. Take a full belly breath in and a long breath out. If the hands are at heart center, extend the arms up on the next inhale. And with an exhale, bring your hands down to frame just your left foot. Step your right foot forward to meet it. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to empty out and fold. Press down, rise all the way up to standing on an inhale. We're going to keep it moving with this flow. Exhale, fold forward. On an inhale, halfway lift, heart forward. Exhale, plant the hands to plank or modified with knees down. We're going into the sun salutation. Take it your own pace. Take a breath in. I'm going to suggest lowering all of the way to the mat, but you certainly can lower halfway. On an inhale, come up to cobra. Elbows are bent. And on an exhale, through knees or through plank to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, take a full belly breath in. Stay here as you exhale. Another deep breath in. And then exhale, step, walk, or jump both feet to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, like the edge of a diving board. Arms can be back or intensify with them forward. Exhale, empty out, fold. Maybe a slight bend to the knees. Rise to standing, press down, reach all of the way up. Keep it moving. Exhale, fold forward. On an inhale, halfway lift. Take this flow your own pace or stay with me. Exhale, plant the hands to plank or modified. Take a breath in and then lower halfway or chaturanga, right? That's halfway or all the way. Come through to cobra with elbows bent or up dog with arms that are straight on the tops of your feet in either pose. Maybe the thighs float up. Draw the low belly in and then make your way back to downward facing dog. This flow, right? This movement, this breath. We take a full breath in. Let's keep it moving. Exhale, step, walk, or jump the feet to your hands. On an inhale, halfway lift at the top of your mat. Exhale, empty out and fold. Rise to standing, press down, reach all of the way up. Continue that movement. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And on the exhale, plant the hands to plank or modified. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower halfway or all of the way. Come into the tops of the feet. Lift the heart to cobra. Try not to lift the chin too high or up dog. Exhale, move back to downward facing dog. Pause when you get to down dog. Simply pausing to notice. Things change. They ebb and they flow. I named that guy Leonard, just so you know. He's got some babies with him. Got the family here doing a little yoga. All right, we're in down dog. Lift the right leg on an inhale. And with an exhale, place the right foot in between the hands. Stay on the ball of the left. Rise up, high crescent lunge. So we talked through crescent lunge earlier, remembering your back knee can come down for more support. These sounds, this life is anchoring into the moment. From crescent lunge, take a deep breath in. We're going to go right up into warrior three. As you exhale, balance comes into the right foot or imbalance. The left leg lifts. You're standing at the top of your mat, balancing on your right leg. Maybe your hands are at heart center. Maybe they're extended out in front of you, or maybe they're back in airplane. Pause and breathe. Maybe there's a mental rigidity of it having to be a certain way. And what would it be like to breathe into what it is so that what it is can inform you? Yeah, you're still there, right? In warrior three. From warrior three, I'd like to move you up into tree. So you're balancing on the right foot. The left heel comes below the right knee or the toes above. The left toes can also tap down on your mat. Your left knee is pointing to the left side of your room. Tree, the arms can be extended or hands can be at heart center. Just noticing this world in front of you, but also this world within. This breath, this heartbeat, these sensations. You're in tree. All right, lift the left leg back in front of you, please. So put it back in front of you, that left leg, either bent or straight. Take a full belly breath in. Start to kick the left leg back, going through warrior three to warrior two. All right, so in warrior two, you're facing the left side of your room. The front knee is bent. The arms are extended. Both shoulders and hip bones face the left side of your room. Your eyes are looking past your right fingertips, sealing the outside of the left foot against the mat. So sometimes, in this case, that left leg is back behind you. Sometimes the left hip bone starts to point forward. So steer the left sit bone back slightly. Make sure that doesn't bring that right knee tapping in. You're just in warrior two. Eyes forward with direction. And get curious here about bringing some fluidity into this. Not only fluidity of breath, but fluidity in the body. A little bit of ease and in the mental way that we engage with this. All right, flip the right palm. Inhale, lift, stretch up and back. And as you exhale, make your way back to downward facing dog, either through a flow or stepping directly back to down dog. I do understand the challenge if you're new to the practice and me just throwing out pose names. And so give yourself a little bit of kindness if this is a struggle, because it's to be honest, not typically the way we always teach. But for the purpose of this practice today and for the view and this world we're in, this is how we teach right now. There's a fluidity to that, right? All right, I think you're back to down dog. It's unique for me because I don't know. On an inhale, lift the left leg up. And with an exhale, place the left foot in between your hands, staying on the ball of your right foot, and rise up to crescent lunge. In crescent lunge, stack the shoulders over the hips, which might necessitate the awareness of bending the back knee slightly. Notice the breath in. Notice the breath out. You're still in crescent. Where can you bring ease? It's feeling like water. Together, draw a full breath in. And as you exhale, toggle forward into warrior three. The belly button aligned over the left ankle. the arms either forward or back or at heart center, and the awareness of both balance and imbalance. To tune into that which is shaky and that which is steady. Not just focusing on what you want, but focusing on what is. From Warrior 3, draw a deep breath in. And a long breath out and come to standing with tree, the right heel below the left knee or the toes above. The toes can tap down on the floor as well. The arms reaching up or the hands at heart center. It's a cultivation of awareness, of noticing. So as you notice what's happening in your own body, where can you be fluid and make adjustments? From tree pose, draw another breath in and a breath out and bring the right leg back in front of you. It's either bent or straight. Moving through Warrior 3, kick the right leg back, landing in Warrior 2. Left knee bent. Right foot at the back of the mat, the right toes are pointing toward the right side of the room. Maybe a heel to heel or heel to arch of back foot alignment. Feeling that right sit bone draw back toward the back side of the body, making sure the left knee doesn't cave in. Pausing in Warrior 2 to simply notice. Noticing both internal and external worlds. Still in Warrior 2. Here we go. Flip the left palm. Inhale, lift, stretch up and back. And as you exhale, bring your hands down to frame your front foot. Step back to plank and pause in plank. Knees can certainly be down. Notice breath here. Become very aware of the moment when it arrives. The moment where you might want something to be other than the way that it is. This rigidity to wanting, this attachment. And bring into the body breath. Can you also bring into the mind this feeling of yielding, the softness. You're still in plank. In plank, draw a full breath in and a very long breath out. And then make a choice. Child's pose, knees down, sit bones to heels, arms extended forward, forehead down, or sitting up on the knees. Not just a point of pause to rest, but a point of pause for this meditation piece to come back in. If it went anywhere, to anchor back. To anchor back now as I give you a bit of silence to the sounds or the sights or the sensations of your own body. When the mind wanders, if it does, come back to sound, sensation, sight. From where you are, take a very deep belly breath in and a full breath out, and come back to downward facing dog. Just notice down dog. Notice the body in this moment. All right, on your inhale, lift the right leg up. As you exhale, come forward close to plank and draw the right knee to the right armpit. Really far forward into plank, yeah. Inhale, kick the right leg back up into one-legged down dog. Exhale, right knee to left armpit. Do that again. Inhale, kick the right leg up. Exhale, right knee, right armpit. Inhale, kick the right leg up. Exhale, right knee, left armpit. Sweep it back to the right armpit. Step the right foot in between the hands. Rise up, high crescent lunge. Back heel over ball of the foot from crescent lunge. Take a full breath in. And exhale. Start to breathe your way into warrior three. The same flow with a few adjustments here and there. From warrior three, draw a deep breath in. Stay here. As you exhale, bring your hands to heart center in warrior three. In the next pose, we're doing a little curtsy here. You're going to bend both knees, tap your left knee behind your right knee. Kind of fits right in there. So bend both knees, tap your left knee behind your right knee, and then inhale, kick back up to warrior three. Exhale again, both knees bend, tap your left knee behind your right knee. One more, inhale back to warrior three. Exhale, tap your left knee next to your right knee. And then breathe up into tree. Now in tree, remember the variations. The heel can be below the knee, the toes above, the toes tap down. The fluidity of opening up to the moment, to the way this flow shows up, to the trusting of yourself in these moments without a visual. From tree, bring the left leg directly back in front of you. Take a full breath in, and as you pass through warrior three, step into warrior two. Flip the right palm, inhale, lift, stretch up and back, and straighten the right leg. And on an exhale, triangle. Triangle has two straight legs. Maybe your fingertips of the right hand start on the right quad to elongate the right side body, making parallel lines with the right side body to the left side body. So if that right side's collapsing, maybe your hand has gone down too far to the floor. Doesn't ever have to go there at all. If the pose starts to feel rigid, if it starts to feel harsh, can you bring a bit more water element into this? You're in triangle. Maybe the left arm extends out over the ear. Maybe the right arm extends out under the right ear. Maybe that makes the breath too challenging. And so you don't do that. Or maybe you do these choices because there's a openness. From triangle, draw a full breath in. And as you exhale, head back to warrior two. Reflip the right palm. Inhale, lift, stretch up and back. And exhale, make your way back to downward facing dog through a flow or knot. From downward facing dog, take a deep belly breath in and give it a long breath out. Awareness of the weight in both hands. Lift the left leg up on an inhale. Exhale, left knee, left armpit, coming forward into plank. Take the left leg back up, one-legged down dog, inhale. Exhale, left knee, right armpit. Come back up on an inhale. Exhale, left knee, left armpit. Inhale, the leg lifts back up. Exhale, left knee, right armpit. Switch it over to the left armpit. Place the left foot in between the hands, come all the way up to crescent lunge. Stack shoulders over hips. Draw a full belly breath in. And as you exhale, draw forward into warrior three. Arms either extended or back or at heart center. Noticing both balance and imbalance. In just a moment, when this starts to move, the balance stays in the left foot. So take a deep belly breath in. And as you exhale, bend both knees, hiding the right behind the left. Inhale to kick to warrior three. Right leg presses back, chest draws forward, belly button in line with ankle. Exhale, bend both knees, tap right knee behind left. Inhale, straighten the left leg, right leg back behind you. Exhale, bend both knees, tap the right knee behind the left. And breathe up into tree. Heel below or toes above. You breathe here. You notice this world. You notice the way in which you're a part of it. The interconnectedness. All right, the right leg reaches in front of you. Either knee is bent or leg is straight. And as you exhale, moving back through warrior three into warrior two. Facing the right side of your room, left arm forward. Flip the left palm, inhale, lift, stretch up and back, straighten the left leg. Exhale to triangle, maybe starting with the left fingertips on the left thigh, or maybe that's where they stay. Both legs straight. Maybe the right arm extends out over the ear, maybe the left arm reaches out underneath the ear. Ease, fluidity, softness, this yielding. It might not be felt, but can the words be spoken, and setting that intention of that. From triangle, take another breath in. And as you exhale, head back to warrior two. Flip the left palm, inhale, lift, stretch up and back. And with an exhale, we pause in plank. That's a choice. You can pause in modified plank. And come into child's pose as well. It becomes an opportunity to experience something. Whatever that experience is, to breathe into it. Mental resistance, mental openness, physical resistance, physical openness. It's your experience. Stay where you are, drawing a breath in. And as you exhale, you can move through that flow or not to meet back in downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, draw a full breath in. And as you exhale, step, walk, or jump the feet to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold, rise to standing, press down, reach all of the way up. Exhale, bend your knees and sit to chair. Draw the hands to heart center. Trust the back side of the body. Give more weight to the hamstrings, and the calf muscles, and the muscles on the back. Cover the belly over the thighs. Take a breath in. And take the twist outside of the left arm against the right leg. And just notice if one knee, probably the left, popped forward. Draw the left sit bone back. Elongate both sides of your body. Where is the yielding and the fluidity in a twist where things feel confined, but like this, picturing a river and the way that the breath moves around the rocks. Move the breath around and through the resistance that you're feeling right now. In this twisted chair, draw another full breath in. And as you exhale, come into a forward fold, just for a moment. Halfway lift on a breath. Exhale and fold, rise to standing, press down, reach up. Exhale, bend your knees, sit to chair, hands to heart center, pause. Notice the hip bones and the knees, both equal in alignment, pointing forward. Cover the belly over the thighs on a breath. Take the twist in the opposite direction. Outside of the right arm against the left thigh, draw the right sit bone back. Places that feel the most resistance need the most breath. On the mat or not, right? Places where you feel the most resistance need the most breath and space. Breathing in this twisted chair. Take a breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift on a breath. We're going back to boat, my friends. Head back to boat. Picture boat like a down dog flipped over. So your sit bones on the ground, tailbones on the ground. Your legs are lifted up in front of you. Knees can be bent. Make your legs like one leg. Fingertips can be propped down behind you, like this with your hands. The fingertips can be like this behind you, or arms can be lifted up. See, I am here. We're going to go from high boat to low boat. So in high boat, in this V, take a breath in. And then exhale. Cover the legs or lower the legs and lower the back. And then inhale, lift back up. Exhale to lower. Stay with me. Are you singing row, row, row your boat? Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift and boat. Make that V. Exhale, lower. You're hovering. 3 more. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Breath and fluidity. Unhinge the jaw. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. All right, 2 more. Do I keep saying that? Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 1 more. Inhale, lift, high boat. Exhale, lower. Hold. Draw your knees into your chest. Lay your back down on the mat. Extend the arms out to the sides. Maybe a T. Elbows can be bent like goalposts, or arms can be extended. And let both knees fall over to the right. Turn the left ear down to the mat. Notice breath. Notice sensation. Listen to the sounds around you. Take the legs through center and to the other side. Come back to center. Of course we're doing bridge, right? I mean, of course. This is themed water here. There's actually one of the 12-minute minis is called Bridge Over Not So Troubled Water. It's teaching the alignment of bridge. So again, I'll post about those 12-minute minis. All right, flatten your feet. Arms are down by your side. Typical alignment here is, like the middle finger can brush against the backs of your heels. Don't force that. And then just check that your feet are hip bone distance. There's a tendency for the knees to cave in or go out once we lift up. Feel the spine elongated on the mat. Take a breath in. And then exhale, press down and lift up and try not to let the knees fall to the sides. No pressure here in the neck. So from bridge, draw a full belly breath in. Press down through the heels and through your toes. Use the hamstrings. And then exhale, lower down. Do that again. Take a full belly breath in. And exhale, press down and lift up. Feel the inner thighs draw together, not so much that you collapse the knees in, but for everything draw into center. And from that drawing into center, can you feel an expansion of breath through the chest and the rib cage? Soften the face, especially the spot in between the eyes. Take a breath in. Lower all of the way down to the mat. We're going to do one more. So together, full breath in. Exhale, press down and lift up. Splay the toes like they splay your fingers in down dog, right? Really a wide base with the feet, wide base with the back side of your body. Let's stay here for 4 breaths. So 4. Fluid 3. 2. And 1. Lower down. Try not to draw your knees into your chest. Let yourself feel this. We're going to take pigeon right here. So cross the outside of the right ankle against the left thigh. So your right knee's pointing out to the side. If you want to go into another hip opener variation, go ahead. Of course you can. Now the left foot, the way I'm cueing it, is on the ground still, and the outside of the right ankle is pressing against the left thigh. If for more sensation in the right hip, you want to lift the left foot up, go ahead and do that. The fingers can interlace to hold the left leg, just not too tightly. Soften the shoulders and breathe. Yeah, just notice. Just awareness. And can you bring in those aspects here of fluidity and softness, not to grip. Right, extend both legs straight up, actively pressing through the heels, to the backs of the legs, a stretch. And come into the pose on the opposite side, so the right foot lands on the ground, the outside of the left ankle against the right thigh. The left knee points out to the side. If you decide to lift that right foot up, go ahead and do that. If you're in another variation, of course. Water is fluid, soft and yielding, but water will wear away rock, which is rigid and cannot yield. As a rule, whatever is fluid, soft, and yielding will overcome whatever is rigid and hard. It's the exploration of this physically and, of course, mentally. Hmm. Whenever we open up to the moment, to give our attention to the moment, we're creating pathways in the brain, the plasticity, the mendable, right? Able to be moved, shifted, changed, not rigid, not closed, but open. Right? Again, extend both legs straight up, actively flexing through the heels, but feeling the ease in the upper body. And now here's the choice for ending class. Either Shavasana, you can take that laying completely down, or come on up to a seated position for a more awakened state. Your choice. You could do a combination of that. So either laying down or seated to observe this world with eyes. Laying down, you can observe this world with ears. Wherever you are, that is all that I'm going to say for the next few minutes. Is to observe this world with your sensations, your senses. And if the mind gets lost in thought, just remember to come back to your senses. Just a gentle reminder that if you drift away, because the brain, right, it drifts, we need this anchor. Come back to breath or sound or seeing. Just this reminder to come back to your senses with moment by moment awareness. If you've been laying down, Slowly make your way to seated. Notice these sounds. See this world. Feel this breath. I'd like to end with a reading by Mark Nepo. If the geese will allow it. Love like water. Water in its clear softness fills whatever hole it finds. It is not skeptical or distrusting. It does not say, this gully is too deep or that field is too open. Like water, the miracle of love is that it covers whatever it touches, making the touched thing grow while leaving no trace of its touch. Most things break instead of transform because they resist. The quiet miracle of love is that without our interference, it, like water, accepts whatever is tossed or dropped or placed into it, embracing it completely. Of course, we are human and are easily hurt if not loved back or if loved poorly. But we waste so much of life's energy by deliberating who and what shall be worthy of our love, when in the deepest elemental sense, these choices are not in our province any more than rain can choose what it shall fall upon. In truth, the more we let love flow, the more we have to love. This is the inner glow that sages and saints of all ages seem to share. The wash of their love over everything before then, not just people, but birds and rocks and flowers and air. Beneath the many choices we have to make, love, like water, flows back into the world through us. It is the one great secret available to all. Yet somewhere the misperception has been enshrined that to withhold love will stop hurt. It is the other way around. As water soaks scars, love soothes our wounds. If opened too, love will accept the angrily thrown stone, and our small tears will lose some of their burn in the great ocean of tears. And the arrow released to the bottom of the river will lose its point. Only love, with no thought of return, can soften the point of suffering. Love like water. Mark Nepo. Friends, what a joy to lead you in your practice this morning. The light and the truth in me honors and sees that in each of you. And before I bid the word Namaste, the studio mantra, the words you speak become the house you live in. Namaste.